breaking down Liberty sports. This is the Patriot Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back in. This is the High School Fan Zone on a Monday night. I'm Randy Rosetta. I already said this is 100.7 The Score, I think. We're going to switch gears and talk. We've done track, baseball, and track again. We're going to switch gears and talk softball. Not had Liberty in since last year, I don't think.
Correct.
And y'all can blame like your soccer team for playing so deep.
All this success. Yeah, I've just been waiting. Basketball
girls for playing so deep. I'm going to tell you, I wanted to have, before I forget, Hannah Limmer, it's weird. Everybody's a third-year coach at Liberty now. Third-year coach at Liberty. I'm going to have her introduce the two players she brought in. I've been wanting to have her come in anyway, but something she said to me after a game I covered the other night kind of stuck in my head, and I'm explain that in a minute. But I'm glad that we're talking now because you guys still have some season to go here. It's not been easy. It's the first 3 years of the program. It's been put a couple bricks in, take a step back. To me, you've made good progress, but introduce your two players and we'll go from there.
I have two of my seniors, Hagen Walker and JC McCown, with me today.
All right, Hagen, do you ever get tired of being introduced as Texas Tech signee, Hagen Walker?
No, sir. How could I?
Exactly. That's a good answer. Hold that above the silver when you talk, and talk above. There we go, so it doesn't mess with the wires. And talk as loud as you need to, and they'll adjust you in there.
Got it.
What I just said to there, Hagen, you've signed?
Yes, sir.
You've put your name on the dotted line with the Texas Tech number 2. I think I saw on the billboard coming over here.
Not a number yet.
No.
Oh, them number 2, yes.
They're ranked number 2.
Yes, with Alabama at 1.
Now, you're not going to get to catch Nyjah, right? She's going to...
No, sir. I wish I was.
I'll pull the curtain back here. I am now the second most famous Topeka High School graduate in Lubbock, Texas, because she's here. I went to the same high school as her, so I'm not nearly as famous as she is. But it was cool when I saw her name and where she's from, because there's not a whole lot of us down here, and we'll get both of you to talk about this. And Hannah, you can talk about it because you played your high school or your college alma mater is doing all right in softball too. Mm-hmm. How big a deal for you, especially as somebody who signed with them, that Nyjah's come down here and done what she's done these last 3 years? How much does that kind of spin your head a little bit?
Honestly, I'm just excited to get there already. I mean, she's built the program up so much in these past, 2 years? I mean, I'm excited to be a part of it.
You've watched, and I assume you haven't signed with Texas Tech too. I don't want to say you haven't unless you.
No, sir, I have not.
But you're a softball fan.
Yes, sir.
And you grew up here because I asked you where you were from before. What's it been like to have Texas Tech on the spotlight for a softball player in Lubbock, Texas? Look up there and see. Like I said, I'm on the way over here, and there's Texas Tech on the billboard, number 2 in the nation.
It's really nice. Just see how far they've come, They weren't so hot, a couple years ago, and now they're just getting there.
And I'm going to say, the reason I'm bringing all that up, Coach Limmer's, they know where you played?
I don't know if they did or not. But
do you know where Coach played in college?
WT?
Yeah.
And do you know WT's, they're ranked a little bit higher than number 2, aren't they?
Yeah,
they were.
They were. The last I checked was 1. I don't know when the next poll will come out, but yeah, they're up there.
So, Coach played in a pretty good program. She's done big things, and the reason I mention all this is year 3. It hadn't gone exactly like you guys wanted to. But Hannah, do you see each year? Have you seen building blocks kind of start to take shape with this group?
Yes. I would say especially this year, we had a really good class of freshmen come in. There's 4 of them who I think have really made a difference, added an extra spark to the roster, just with them being so young, and not in a bad way, just having that young excitement come in was a good boost for us, I think. And I think these two would agree because we've said, they've made a whole lot of difference for us this year.
The one time I watched you, I'll come back to what I was talking about. I watched you guys play Memorial, which was a back and forth game, came down to the end. Memorial won it at the end. And something that Coach said that to me afterwards is she wanted you guys to learn from it because you still had things, you still had goals you could accomplish. And that's what stuck in my head is that I don't know that the last couple of years, if we would have gotten to this point of the season, if that necessarily could have been a message that you could have delivered. Mm-hmm. But how different is it, Hagen? You've been around since day one. How different is it now? You guys still have a lot of wood to chop here. I think you have 2 weeks left, 3 weeks?
We have 2 weeks, but we've got a bye, so we only have 3 district games left.
Okay. And we can talk about the math later, but how different is this year compared to the last few years where you got to this point and it was just kind of, it was tough. It was, you knew you had another season to play, but you also knew that you probably weren't going to get to the playoffs.
It's a lot different now that we kind of have a hope in our season. The numbers, honestly, looking at our overalls from last year and this year, we beat our winnings by double probably this year.
Yeah, if we win one more game, it's a program record for the season. So,
it looks a lot different this year, and it makes us more excited towards the end. That Memorial game, we were just hanging on by a thread, and we were wanting that playoff spot ahead of them, but it didn't turn out the way we wanted to.
It was an incredible back and forth game. I think I said this to Lamar Kello too, is one thing now you girls have to get used to is you've kind of been the feisty young school for the first couple of years, and now you're like the team that the new feisty school takes aim at. So, So 3 games, regardless of what happens, you guys have helped kind of set a foundation. JC, you came over from Lubbock Christian. When you got here, was that important to you to kind of be part of something that you knew you could pass on?
Yes, sir. When I got there, I wanted to be the best I could for them. I knew they needed some help, and I had to step in as a pitcher, and I've never really pitched before, but I'm glad I could be there to help.
Coach and I have talked about this. Y'all have to put up a recruiting poster for a couple pitchers, and maybe your young girls will grow into that. To me, that's the one thing y'all have missed.
Yeah, and I think this year we've been able to spread it out a little bit. I mean, JC's still pitching, even though I know that I could put her anywhere, but she would love to be somewhere else probably other than pitching, but she still gets in there and gets the job done. But like JC's got the speed, Harley's got Harley Stone, she's one of our juniors. She can move the ball, and then Chloe Edwards has been able to come in and just throw strikes when we need it. So it's been nice to spread the work around a little bit this year.
Made it a little bit easier on the coach.
Yeah.
We've got 2 segments left with Liberty Patriot softball folks, so we'll come back after this break in the High School Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Bringing you the latest news from Liberty Athletics. This is the Patriot Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back in. This is the second segment of the Patriot Fan Zone. It's Monday night. We've already talked to Estacado, Monterey, Memorial, and Liberty. On Wednesday, we switch it up, and we will bring in Lubbock High, Coronado, Friendship, and Lubbock Cooper. That will be for about 6 more weeks. And you don't have to listen to me all summer, and then we'll be back in the fall, either 2 nights a week or 3 nights a week. I don't know if it's been decided yet. We're right in the heart of the spring sports season, literally, because soccer wrapped up, so now we can kind of switch gears. Track is through with district. Baseball and softball are hitting the home stretch, as you heard these ladies say. They've got 3 games left in their regular season. Then we get to the playoffs, and they just explained the math to me, that there's definitely some workable math for the Liberty softball program, which is really cool to me, because I'll be completely honest. When I used to reach out to you 2 seasons ago, in the first year, I was like, oh, poor Hannah. I'm going to have to try to get her to say something nice. And that's nothing against you guys. That was with freshmen and sophomores. I always ask people, do you send Caitlin like a Christmas card every year thanking her for how high she set that bar in year 1?
Yeah, it's like, thank you. Thanks for it's nice though to be able to have teams that are successful and just to show like it can be done. It doesn't matter your age,
right,
or anything like that, but we are doing what we can with what we have, and just doing our best, putting it all on the field.
I'm going to say this about Hannah too. I've never seen somebody. There's always somebody at every school that's like at everything. I mean, everything. Every time I show up at a Liberty sporting event, there's Hannah Limmer. Like, I'm pretty sure, like if you cloned yourself at some point, because you show up at a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I wish I could teleport and make it a little bit easier. But yes, just helping out Coach Sexton with, admin stuff here and there, so the job never stops. We finish the softball game, I go over to the baseball game.
There you go. But she coaches some softball too, Hagen. You've been with her from day one. Like I said, it's been a rough road at times. What has she taught you about, what has she done to kind of help you get ready for that next level? Because you're going to play softball for a few more years at least. What has Coach, the way she's handled you guys these 3 seasons, what's that taught you about, not just sports, but maybe a little bit about life, about just getting up and keep plugging away?
Definitely how to build myself up and not just look at the numbers. That's been a big thing for me, is looking at, stats and everything and winning and losing scores. She's learned to just accept it and go game by game and how your performance is looking rather than how the numbers look on a piece of paper.
To be fair, though, you put up pretty nice numbers, and you have from the very beginning. And I hadn't seen you play since your sophomore year. And when I was out there the other night, I think you swung at 3 pitches, and you hit all 3 of them pretty well. So let's just put it that way. JC, you came from a school at Lubbock Christian where they've had a lot of success in just about everything they do. What's it? The same question for you, getting used to Coach Limmer, and what has she kind of taught you about being a teammate, being part of a program that hasn't had as much success as you wanted, but she just keeps showing up?
Well, just to keep staying positive, even though we aren't very successful at times, just keep staying positive, have that positive attitude, pick everybody up, and just stay present, adjust, and compete.
Because you were surprisingly upbeat the other day when I talked to you after the game. I try to give you a few minutes to cool off. It's from covering college sports, the cooling off period. And I talked to the Memorial folks first. And you looked for me, which is odd. Usually a coach loses, they're like, bye. They're hiding, and I've got to figure something out. You actually sought me out. You're still a very young coach. This is you've only been a head coach for 3 years, right?
I was a head coach at a different school.
Okay.
In a different country. But,
that's right.
Yeah. This was my first head coaching job in Texas. Yeah.
And you coached under Sherry Colwell?
Yes, for 1 year.
At Lubbock Cooper, where, as you know from being a graduate, that they're used to high-level success. Mm-hmm. And you've been around a lot of coaches at Liberty with different results. It's intriguing to me. How do you keep being as, because you, like I said, that impressed me that you were that uplifting the other day. It's
to harp on the negative would just be miserable. So I've told them the same thing. You got to find the success where you can. That game was the first game we had played in a while that went 7 innings. Yep. It was 2.5 hours long, and I'm like, how many we're playing? If we played Snyder, Levelland, those games they've been 5 innings, they've been maybe 3. So the fact that we just played a 2.5 hour 7 inning game, it's like that we were ahead most of the time. Just to be able to try to get them to see the success where we can get it.
And to sound a little bit Pollyannish, y'all had fun. Your girls had fun that night, and that's, to me, it's high school sports. That's what it's supposed to be. Yeah. Coming up on our second break, we'll be back after this and finish up with the Liberty Patriots in the Patriot Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Bringing you the latest news from Liberty Athletics. This is the Patriot Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score app.
Welcome back in. We are in the high school fan zone on a Monday night. We're talking Liberty softball. So we've talked about what you guys have to do. Who are the last 3 games against?
We have Estacado tomorrow, and then Lakeview comes to us on Friday, and then we've got a bye next Tuesday, and then we go to Snyder next Friday.
Okay. So you don't play Memorial. You've already played them twice. You split with them. Mm-hmm.
They beat us twice.
Okay, all right. I was trying to give you a win.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to give them their credit. And then we've beaten Lakeview the first round, and then Lakeview beat Memorial the first round. So we got a little triangle going on.
So let me say this nicely. You need to take care of business in these next 2 games in particular.
100%.
Because Snyder's really good.
Yes.
And I just saw this the other day looking at something when I was updating standings. I didn't realize they went to the state semifinals last year.
Yes, they did.
Which doesn't happen for teams out here very often.
Not very often.
Like, I don't know that since I've been running Hub City Preps, if any Lubbock Christian has, Trinity Christian maybe has, but that's in TAPS. It's a different animal. I don't think any public schools out here have. Lubbock Cooper came really close last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and Monterey's come close.
Yeah, that regional final round I think gets people, but yep. Snyder's real deal. They've got good pitching, but they can just hit the ball just up and down the lineup.
So for you two, I'm not. Coach can give you the pep talk here, but how important would it be to get to that last game to have taken care of business in these next 2 and just kind of be able to go out and just play freely?
You want to go on? You can say.
I know it was really hard on us after the game. We had some freshmen that knew it meant a lot to us seniors to win that game, and there was a few tears shed, which is good because it meant something.
Yep.
And it was just great to see those young ones won it for us. But it would have definitely made the ride a lot easier instead of having to rely on other teams.
What I was asking is these next 2 games, if you can do what you need to do, just to go into that last game where if you need to, do you have to, you guys, we can talk about the math. Do you have to win all 3?
No.
No, okay.
We have to win these 2 this week.
There we go. Mm-hmm. And you're one of the seniors. You're like, I don't know, you're like the poster child senior. You've been there since day one. What would it mean to you to get to that last game to know that you've taken care of business and just go out and not have to worry about not being uptight, I guess is the best way to put it?
I feel like it'll just be a fresh breath of air. Honestly, go out there and do what I know and what I love.
What about you, JC? Because you said you wanted to come over and help this program do some better things. If you can help win these next 2 games, what would it be like to go into that last one and just know, okay, we can just go out and play and just be us?
Well, as a senior, I know it would feel really great, finishing strong, making it to the next level. But as for freshmen, some of them may not know what it feels like to win or get that far, so I think that'll be a really great feeling to them. And maybe even for next year, they'll want that even more, and so they'll push harder for it.
And I'm going to guess you'd like to coach these 2 for 6 more years.
If they could just never graduate, that'd be great.
That high school rules sort of prevent that.
Yeah.
But because listening to JC, it's been really cool to talk about what she wanted to do when she got here. These 2 are part of the foundation that you move forward with. What have these 2 done to help you to help you coach in the future with that younger group?
I think it's meant a lot, especially this year, because we've, they've technically been the leaders this whole time because this is the first year we've had seniors. But, just to be able to, have conversations with them off the field and just get our goals aligned and have them be able to help Coach Damel and I just translate what we're trying to say to the younger kids, just be leaders on and off the field. It's been huge for our program to have them for the 3 years for her, 2 years for JC. It's made a whole lot of difference. And I think the freshmen, sophomores, and the junior, all the underclassmen have really seen that, especially this year.
How many seniors besides these 2?
We got 4. We have also Ella Contreras and Mia Gonzalez.
Okay. And have those?
They're all starters, all 4 of them.
Because I remember sitting down and talking to Hagen as a sophomore, and again, I've got kids these age, and I was thinking that is a very mature young lady, and sitting here tonight hasn't changed my mind whatsoever. Mm-hmm. So you've had a good building block for 3 years. Mm-hmm. When you told me, hey, she's signing with Texas Tech, I was like, that's pretty cool. And then watching her the other day hit the ball, I was like, okay, you're going to be talking about her for years.
Yes, I mean, we've said, some people have already have record boards put up. I'm like, I'm not getting record boards till all these kids leave because they've just been exceeding their own goals and expectations every year. So once they're graduated, I'll get the record board and be able to put their names on it.
All right, Hagen, you get the last word. I'm going to put you on the spot here. Did you show up thinking you'd be that person that I just talked about, helping set the foundation?
I definitely knew I'd be part of something, and I didn't think it was going to be this great, honestly. Going to where I'm going just kind of showed up, and I felt like my hard work over the years with Coach Limmer has just showed through, and I'm just glad to finally sit back and enjoy it.
Here we go. 3 games left for the Liberty Patriots this season in softball, hopefully more after that. Got to take care of business these next few. We'll be back Wednesday night in High School Fan Zone. I'm Randy Rosetta, and this is 100.7 The Score.